The text hit while I was restocking shelves at my sneaker store Kick Vibe in downtown Atlanta. I'm out, Simone. Moving to LA with my 23-year-old girlfriend. Joint accounts cleared, deuces. My hands didn't shake as I priced a pair of retro Jordans. My voice stayed cool as I helped Mr. Carter find his grandson's size. The only clue that my husband of 14 years had just blown up our marriage was a slight twitch in my lip. I waited until Mr. Carter left, his kicks bagged in our signature black and neon wrap, before typing back. Safe travels. My name is Simone Carter, and at 39 I'd just gotten the coldest breakup text in history. But while Jermaine was probably popping bottles over his big exit, picturing me crumbling, I was locking up Kick Vibe, humming a trap beat under my breath. The red flags had been waving for months. Late nights at his DJ gigs that didn't match his PayPal deposits. A new lock code on his phone. The way he started rocking chains and fresh fades, chasing the vibe of his 20s. 3 months ago, I'd found a receipt for a rooftop bar tab for $2 on a night he claimed he was spinning at a club. That same night, I opened a private account at a new bank. When he suggested merging our finances to keep it simple, I nodded, smiled, and quietly moved my personal savings. The joint account he'd just emptied had just enough to keep him clueless. 2 months of regular deposits. The rest was safe, along with screenshots of every sketchy Cash App payment he'd made over the past year. My phone pinged again. Don't beg. Me and Zaria leave tomorrow. I'll grab my stuff later. Zaria, the new bartender at his favorite club. I'd met her at a gig, watched her lean too close when pouring his drink, her laugh too loud at his weak game. She was young enough to be his little cousin, green enough to think she was his muse. I didn't reply. Instead, I called my lawyer, Tasha, who I'd consulted 2 months ago after spotting bottle service charges on our credit card. It's go time, I said. He pulled the trigger. Papers are locked and loaded, Tasha replied, her voice sharp as a fresh cut. I'll file tomorrow. Want him served in LA? Nah. Let him think he's stunting first. Another text from Jermaine. I know this stings. You're not getting any fresher, Simone. At least you got your little sneaker spot to keep you busy. My little sneaker spot, the store I'd built from a pop-up at car shows to Atlanta's hottest spot for exclusive drops, out-earning his DJ hustle 3 times over. Profits I'd kept separate from our joint funds. I smirked, thinking of the certified letters waiting for him in LA. Let him flex. That evening, I sat in our loft, my loft, bought with my inheritance from Auntie D, kept in my name despite Jermaine's hints to add his. Another smart move. While sorting papers for Tasha, I found our wedding photos. Jermaine looked different then, before his midlife crisis turned him into a caricature. Now he wore tees too tight for his softening frame, tried too hard to vibe with the club kids, dropped slang that sounded corny from a 46-year-old. My phone kept buzzing with his texts, each one nastier. Been planning this for months. Zaria gets me in ways you never could. You'll be fine. Maybe find some old head to settle with. Told my boys already. They say we just drifted. Ain't nobody's fault. I screenshotted every word, adding them to my evidence folder. Let him dig his grave. His last text stopped me cold. BW, use the joint card for our flights and hotel. My parting gift, LOL. Perfect. I called the credit card company. Miss Simone speaking, need to report fraud and cancel a card. The charges? 2 first-class tickets to LA, a suite at the Chateau Marmont, and I yanked Jermaine as an authorized user. Got texts proving he used the card for his side chick after draining our account, I said. The rep's tone had a grin as she voided the charges. Jermaine and Zaria would hit LA to find their tickets dead, their hotel gone. My phone buzzed again. Don't stress the loft, I'll let you stay till you find a smaller spot. I laughed so hard I snorted. Did he think he had a claim to Auntie D's loft? Another buzz. I know the store means a lot to you. We'll split my half fare. My half of my business, funded by my grind, my late nights curating drops, my hustle, while he called it my side gig and whined about my hours. I poured a glass of Hennessy, the good stuff I'd saved for a big win. This counted. Tomorrow, Jermaine would learn about property law and separate assets. Tonight, I'd vibe to some Jeezy and plot my next move. Morning brought a flurry of pissed-off texts from Jermaine. Yo, what'd you do to the card? Airlines tripping. Hotels canceled. Answer me. I silenced him and headed to Kick Vibe. Saturday was our biggest day with a new shipment of Yeezys to unbox. Life keeps it pushing, even when your husband dips with a bartender young enough to be his intern. Around noon, his homeboy Marcus called. Simone, Jermaine says you've been on some controlling-ish, pushing him out. Now you're blocking his travel? I put him on speaker while tagging a display of Nikes. He mentioned draining our account and charging his girl's trip on our card? Silence. Then, he said you left him no choice, said you've been cold. Marcus, I got his texts. Want the one where he brags about jacking my money, or the one clowning my age? Another pause. He was wild for that. I told him that text was foul. Appreciate the call, but my lawyer says no contact with Jermaine's crew during proceedings. Proceedings? Peace, Marcus. By afternoon, Jermaine's sister Keisha was spilling tea through mutual friends. Jermaine and Zariah were holed up at a budget motel near LAX, their LA glow-up on pause. His personal cards were maxed, another clue I'd clocked. Tasha called with an update. Emergency hearings Monday. With his texts admitting fraud, we're good to freeze all assets. He'll be served at that motel. Oh, and Zariah's TikTok is a goldmine. She's posting about their journey, shading you. I grinned, thinking of my own receipts. A year of shady charges, bar tabs, texts proving his plotting. Jermaine was so caught up in his escape, he never saw me watching, waiting, stacking my deck. Another text from him. Think you're slick, but I got copies of Kick Vibes books. Half that store's mine. I forwarded it to Tasha, another L in his column. Let him learn about sole proprietorship the hard way. Sometimes, the best clapback is being prepared. The Monday hearing was a straight-up movie. Jermaine rolled in wearing a loud Gucci tracksuit, chains gleaming, Zariah outside, her youth popping under the courthouse fluorescents. Tasha laid out our case. Jermaine's text admitting he cleared the account, the card fraud, a year of hidden tabs. His lawyer, some sweaty dude in a cheap suit, stammered, my client admits to some bad calls, but Miss Carter's been vindictive, calculating. Calculating? Tasha shot back. You mean strategic? My client protected her assets and documented her husband's shady moves. That's not vindictive, that's boss. The judge reviewed my receipts. The loft deed in my name, Kick Vibes LLC papers, my strict separation of business and personal funds. Jermaine always called extra. Mr. Jackson, the judge said, eyeing Jermaine, you admitted via text to emptying a joint account and using shared cards for a trip with your girlfriend. Deny it? Jermaine squirmed. I was just trying to bounce clean. By committing fraud? The judge raised a brow. And now you claim rights to property clearly separate from marital assets? The store grew during our marriage, his lawyer tried. My client's entitled. Kick Vibe was established before the marriage, Tasha cut in, and Miss Carter kept business and personal finances separate. We've got every receipt. I watched Jermaine's face as the truth hit. He thought this would be easy. Drain the account, run off with Zariah, maybe snag half my store in the divorce. He'd mocked my bookkeeping as paranoid. The judge dropped the hammer. All shared assets frozen pending dissolution. Mr. Jackson, return the funds you took within 24 hours. That money's gone, Jermaine blurted. We spent it on. Find a way to replace it, the judge snapped. Outside, I heard Zariah whining about their LA plans. Jermaine's reply drowned in the click of my Timbs on the marble floor. Heading back to the store, he never respected. The next few weeks brought Jermaine's desperate plays. He claimed Kick Vibe was his idea, said he'd invested in its early days, even suggested he'd been my business partner. My meticulous records shut that down fast. He's spiraling, Tasha said. Zariah's TikTok shows them crashing at her cousin's spot now. A bartender's paycheck ain't the Hollywood dream he sold her. Jermaine's boys started hitting me up. Their tone flipped from the jump. We didn't know he was moving like that, Marcus admitted. He said you were tripping, but those texts? Foul. His sister Keisha called, voice low. The way he bragged about taking your money, mocking your age, that ain't the Jermaine I knew. I let their calls go to voicemail. Their apologies were too late. Kick Vibe was booming, fueled by local buzz about my comeback. Customers rolled through to support, leaving with more than they planned. My ex tried to play me too, one woman said, copping a pair of dunks. Men like that never expect us to outsmart 'em. My phone still buzzed with Jermaine's texts, swinging from rage to fake remorse. You ruined everything. I didn't mean to hurt you. You'll regret this. Can't we talk? Kick Vibe wouldn't be nothing without my hype. I forwarded each to Tasha, no reply. Let him sink. Word on the street was Zaria was second-guessing her choice. Sharing her cousin's couch with a middle-aged DJ who couldn't pay his way wasn't the glow-up she'd pictured. Her latest TikTok was about learning from bad vibes. I almost felt bad for Jermaine, then I remembered his deuces and the LOL after he drained our account. Pride hit harder than pity. The final divorce hearing was a different scene. Jermaine's cocky vibe was gone, replaced by a nervous twitch. Zaria was ghost. Word was she'd linked with a promoter her own age. Jermaine showed up in his old gear, the Gucci tracksuit swapped for a faded tee. His lawyer looked drained, probably from chasing loopholes in my airtight setup. Your Honor, his lawyer tried. Despite the separate property, my client supported Miss Carter's business with emotional backing. Emotional backing? Tasha laughed. Like these texts calling Kickvibe her little hobby? Or these posts clowning her grind? The judge wasn't having it. The settlement reflected my prep. I kept my loft, my store, my separate assets. Jermaine got his DJ equipment in his car, worth less than its loan. You destroyed me, he hissed outside. I got a crash with my boys. Nah, Jermaine, I said. You destroyed you. I just made sure you couldn't take me down. Keisha was waiting to drive him to her spot, his new crash pad, at 46. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. 6 months post-divorce, Kickvibe opened a second location in Buckhead. While Jermaine was scraping by, the little sneaker spot he dissed was a local legend. I'd hired 4 new staff and launched an online store shipping nationwide. Word about Jermaine trickled back through the grapevine. He'd tried dating apps, but women his age weren't feeling a 46-year-old couch-surfing DJ. Younger women, burned by his rep, swerved him after Zaria spilled tea on her Insta. His DJ career tanked too. Club owners sidelined him after he fumbled a big gig, too busy chasing clout with Zaria. Keisha stopped by Kickvibe one day, eyeing a pair of Air Maxes. We fell for his sob story at first, she said. Said you were holding him back. But after seeing those texts, how he moved, I'm sorry we doubted you. I nodded, ringing her up. Their regrets weren't my burden. Tasha kept me posted on Jermaine's legal flops. He tried petitioning the settlement, claiming unfair splits. Each got tossed, his own texts sinking him. He said the account text was a joke, Tasha cackled. Judge asked if LOL makes theft legal. Kickvibe's glow-up got me features in local mags, not as a scorned wife, but as a hustler who played chess while her ex played checkers. Aspiring entrepreneurs hit me up for advice on separating business and personal funds. Trust your gut, I told a young designer who reminded me of Zaria. Protection ain't paranoia. Jermaine's boys called sometimes, usually after he fumbled again. He'd tried crypto scams, then a merch line that flopped. He's still blaming you, Zaria. The clubs, Marcus said, won't own it. I stayed distant. My life was full. Plans for a third Kickvibe, collabs with local artists. The only trace of Jermaine was a framed screenshot in my office. His last text before I blocked him. Have fun with your little sneaker spot. It'll keep you busy in your old age. Below it, my latest business award. Success hits different. A year out, I threw a grand opening for Kickvibe's third spot. Media came for my story, not the divorce, but my empire. Jermaine's betrayal was just a footnote. Zaria popped in, looking nervous, clutching a tote. I owe you an apology, she said. He sold me dreams. Said you were holding him back. Then he tried that same game on me when the money dried up. I adjusted a display of off-whites. Those weren't dreams, Zaria. They were schemes. Big difference. I see that now, she said. He wanted to crash at my spot, kept talking about big plans with no cash. I'm with someone real now, building slow. I chuckled. Let me guess, crypto, collabs, clout? All that, she laughed. I kicked him out after he tried to borrow my rent money. After she left, my manager whispered, that the side chick? Nah, I said. Just another sister who learned the same lesson. 2 years later, I spoke at a business expo, not about betrayal, but about building a brand. A woman asked about mixing business and love. My ex called me paranoid for keeping things separate, I said. Then he tried to claim my store in the divorce. Trust your instincts. Kickvibe had 5 locations, 40 employees, and national buzz. Jermaine? Living in a garage apartment, working security after clubs stopped booking him. Zaria, now a regular at Kickvibe, had her own event planning hustle. You showed me what real grind looks like, she said, buying a pair of Forces. At Kickvibe's 5-year anniversary, Keisha showed up, rocking kicks from my store. Saw Jermaine yesterday, she said, still talking about his prime, what he could have had. He doesn't get it. He didn't lose it in the divorce, he threw it away. I caught my reflection in the store window. Not a woman aging, but one leveling up. Jermaine's text was supposed to break me. Instead, it launched me. Every news store, every headline was proof. The best revenge isn't getting even, it's getting everything.